Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can disable the news and interest along with the widgets on the Windows devices by using Intune, and by creating a configuration profile, how we can go ahead and disable that or remove from the end users desktop or laptops, right? So without wasting any time, let's jump on and I'll show you how you can do that. So here I'm on Intune portal, Intune administrator portal, right? And then we need to go to devices, and from here I'm going to focus on Windows for now, or for this policy purpose, right? So I'm going to click on Windows devices, and then here under the manage devices section where we see the configuration, and from there we are going to create a policy, right? So this is going to be a configuration profile, which I'm going to create by selecting a platform Windows 10 and later, and then select the settings catalog as a policy or profile type. So let's go ahead and create it. But before that, you might be wondering why selecting setting catalog and why not templates, right? So the settings, which is part of the setting catalog, that is part of the setting that we are going to configure, which is part of settings catalog, and it is not part of administrative templates or templates at all. And that is why we are going to use settings catalog with the custom changes, right? So that is also pre-built configurations setting, which is in available in Intune, and at the same time that's also available across the other configurations on a applications level. So let's say, so here I am going to give it a name, disable news and interests on the browsers. So this specifically is going to disable news, interest and widgets from the end users browsers. So specifically, this is going to be effective on Microsoft Edge browsers, right? And it is going to disable all those news interest capacities or capabilities, or mostly the news section of the browser where we see the lot of news and a lot of things showing up, right, as soon as we open a browser, right? So sometimes that is not a good experience for users, and also as a company or a company wide initiative for security and all other measures, that won't be a good way to keep it. Instead, we as an administrator to manage that fully should be able to deploy this policy and we can manage it. So I have given it a name. Also I can give it a description. So description is going to be based on your requirement, what this policy does, how this policy is going to be impacted or is going to make the changes across the organization, and what we are expecting out of this policy. So we can put that here under the description, and we will get to know what this policy does and what is it not, right? So let's go ahead, and here here's the magic where we need to select the appropriate setting catalog configurations, and then once we add it, we would be able to add that configuration. So I'll click on settings, and here is the setting picker where I need to type feeds or feed and hit enter button. So once I hit enter, I see feeds button popping up here, and I can simply enable this, and there is a setting for us to disable that. So currently if I select this checkbox, that means it is enabled, and you see here it's set to allowed. Allowed means it is going to simply showcase that interest and news capacities, right? Similarly, we have some settings for Google Chrome and some for browsers, right? But those are different settings that we can allow for allow user feedbacks on device level as well as user level. So I'm not going to do anything on that side yet or this time, but definitely there are some settings and configurations that we can go ahead and set it up. But for now, purpose of this video was to set it up on news and interest side. So now here we have two options. allowed and not allowed. Not allowed is going to simply disable it. There is no news and interest and widgets at all, right? So I'm going to set it to not allowed, so that we don't want to see or show news as well as the interest, right? So once we disable those news and alerts or news and interest, that is going to be disabled completely, and it won't be shown on the user sites, right? So once we disable, it is going to disable everything and we don't have to do anything, right? So that's the simple task there. And let me go ahead and go to the next step. So this is the scope tags. I'm not going to add any scope as we have default one, and that is basically for putting or pushing out a scope in case we wanted to target some devices or some applications or something like that. And then next is going to be assignment. So here we have a number of options to select. Either select a specific group where we wanted to test it, or maybe we wanted to assign it to a specific group only, maybe a particular department across the organization, which is finance or HR or auditing or maybe security and compliance, right? So those are the different things where we can scope out this policy. And if we wanted to target all users or all devices, we can do that as well. Also here you see excluded groups. We can exclude a particular group from there, whichever group we wanted to exclude, and we don't want that policy to be applied on the group. So this way we can target that policy or that particular group to be excluded, and it is going to be excluded. This policy is not going to be applied on it at all. So I'm going to select all devices for now, and this should be good for us to deploy this policy. So now, all right, this policy is ready to create, and this is the last step where we can go ahead and review the summary. If in case any changes we wanted to do, we can go ahead and do that. If not, then simply go ahead and create this policy. So as soon as this policy is created, we can simply look for that policy here. Let me refresh it once. All right, so this policy is created here. You can see the platform settings catalog as a policy type, and then last modified date time, right? Also you see the one is assigned scope tags, and here is the policy, right? So here you see the all devices are assigned to, and here it has the configurations that we have set up. So this is it for this specific video. And yep, if any questions, anything you wanted to ask, please do comment those in the comment section below. And yep, thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. And yep, thanks. Bye for now.